Fine, we will put them in boxes. Small malicious compliance here, with photo for proof. At my work, we have a shelf that we've been used to put spare stuff from mostly empty boxes. The inspector came by and decided that the thing that we have been doing for 10 plus years is not the proper way, since everything has to be in a box. We decided, fuck that, since it is way too slow compared to our old way. I took the time, the tape, the cardboard, the turn, the shelf into a box. In the most stupid way I could. I am quite proud of my invention. You want us to help you meet your budget. Story time, ladies and gents. My supervisor is a notorious micromanaging hard ass. We're coming up to the end of the year and she needs to be under budget. She ranted at us for an hour about how we charge out time. A quick and dirty rundown of how we charge out time. I work for a big company with smaller satellite offices. If we do work for a particular office, we charge to that office. We should only be charging to our department for our breaks, union, and department sanctioned events such as meetings. Apparently we were charging way too much to the departmental budget. Mind you, she ran our 30-minute meeting to an hour. She wants us to charge exactly what we use for our department to our department. Here's where the malicious compliance comes in. Previously, I charged an hour a day to our department just for the little things, breaks, time and treat, etc. That's 5 hours. Basically, everyone in my department did the same. Now, this week alone, I'm over that by 2.25 hours. Times up by 12 people, we all have the same base schedules, and you have 27 additional hours to help you with that budgeting problem. So sad we couldn't be of more help. We get 250 pages to print per semester. My roommate and I attend a university where we are given 250 pages per semester to print as part of our attendance. Well, we hardly used it since we have our own printer, so we went over to the print room and asked them if we could have our 500 pages. They said that the pages were only for printing and not a quantity or letter paper we were entitled to, so we said okay. We then went to 2 of the computers in the print room, opened Word to a blank document and printed our pages out. We then walked out with that thick stack of paper without being noticed. There's not been, and there will likely not be, any fallout. Delivery boy asked to make pizza boxes. I work nights in a pizza place, and when I walked in one night, last week, there were several towers of pizza boxes on the tables, in the counter side of our restaurant. The area where we usually keep them above the pie prep area, and was full too of stacked boxes. Apparently the day driver was asked to make boxes during his shift and for whatever reason was very pissed off about it. I hope this week they ask him to stock the Snapple fridge. Get comfortable, this is a long one. Owner of small video game studio treats employees like shit, doesn't read his own email, ends up paying thousands for drinks at company party. I worked at a small, less than 100 people video game studio about a decade ago. The studio did mostly console ports for larger publishers and was notorious for severely underpaying its employees and for screwing employees out of contracts so that the boss could make a profit, which he never shared with the company. When I became a manager, I tried to lobby for higher pay for my hourly workers, as the pay was $8 an hour in 2011. There were 3 guys on my team so broke they were literally living in their car in the parking lot. Boss, who was also co-owner of the studio, frankly said to me, I will continue to pay $8 an hour until I can't find anyone willing to work for $8 an hour. He was also notorious for bringing on unpaid interns, making them do the work of a full employee, promising them employment at the end of the internship, then breaking his promise. Boss was notorious for being a tightwad. He excluded hourly employees from company meals during overtime, and would claim he was feeling generous when he would let the hourlies eat after all of the other employees had already cleared out 2/3 of the food, and what was left was stale and congealed. At one point, a contract with a larger company fell through, and Boss Man let half of the studio know about their layoffs by holding a meeting for them in the parking lot, and letting employees know that their jobs were gone. Their passes to the doors were disabled, and they could expect their belongings mailed back to them in a week. He let some employees go back in to get things like wallets and car keys, but under security escort. Time comes for a release party for a game that got released before this mass layoff happened. Boss Man emails out to the whole company letting everyone know how generous he's feeling, that he's going to allow all of the laid off employees on the project to come to the release party of the game that they made. It was at a swanky place in town known for high-end cocktails, among other things. Bossman writes in his email, invite there was a $15 per drink limit. What he meant to say was that each person at the party had a $15 limit for drinks. What he meant to say was that each person at the party had a $15 limit for drinks for the night total. What the bar and everyone else interprets, correctly, as that there was a $15 per drink limit. Employees stifled giggles as they read the email invite that was also sent as instructional to the bar, and excitedly exchanged text messages and emails with the laid-off employees. Bossman is also notorious for not showing up to his own parties until 2 hours in. Cue the night of the party. Everyone shows up bright and early, and as soon as the party officially starts, Everyone swarms the bar, asking for the most expensive cocktails and liquor the bar had to offer. People were downing French 75s and Ramos gin fizzes, and 35-year-old shots of Glenfiddich. Every employee and former employee was 5 to 6 fancy cocktails in, and 3 sheets to the wind by the time Bossman shows up. He saunters in to cheers and pats on the back from laid-off employees, who are so drunk by now that they probably saw 3 of him. He smiles and waves magnanimously, thinking the former and current employees would drown their sorrows at their own cost. He wanders up to the bar to check in with the barkeep and see what the damage was so far. After 20 seconds of conversation, the smile from his face has disappeared completely and been replaced with a scowl. Words are spoken, barkeep disappears and comes back with manager. Tens of words are exchanged with the manager, who disappears into a back office and then returns with a piece of paper, presumably a copy of whatever contract Bossman had made for the party. The bar and the drinking partiers were in the right. The company at the time was not financially able to handle the price of the drinks, and Bossman was made to pay the costs out of his own pocket. Sadly, he was not able to afford a Porsche and a BMW that year. The company had to shutter about a year after this event. I want my bedroom painted blue, no matter what. This happened over a decade ago. My dad works for a government-associated oil company, and we used to live in company-provided accommodation. A lot of maintenance, like plumbing, electrician, carpenters, etc., were done by the company-appointed vendors, since they were on a contract. The company was up for a new painter contract, and we had a couple of vendors lined up for the job. Since our house was up for a new paint job, my mum decided to let the company test one of the vendors by letting them paint in our home. We'll call him Painter X. Now, Painter X wanted to impress my mum and the company, so he let us pick whatever colours we wanted for all the rooms, and so we did. White for the kitchen, eggshell for the living room, lavender for mine, and so on. The company was impressed and he was hired. Now, one particular neighbour of ours, Mrs. Will Not Listen, loved our home's colours and requested for Painter X to also paint different colours for each of all her rooms. Unfortunately, all homes were being painted on an off-white colour in all the rooms, since that was a fairly standard colour everyone could work with. But Mrs. Will Not Listen demanded she gets a custom job because we did. She absolutely wanted blue in her bedroom, no matter what it took. The painter read his contract and it said all homes to be painted a single colour. So he did what he could to give the lady blue in her bedroom. He painted the whole home blue, including the bathrooms, kitchen, everything. It wasn't even a pastel blue. I'm not why she couldn't stop him, but her house remained that way for another 5 years, before the apartments were up for a touch-up as per the contract. Hey, thanks for watching to the end. If you want to leave a comment, go ahead. I always see them. I always enjoy engaging with them. You can subscribe if you want, if you choose to. No, there's no pressure to. Or you can click one of the other videos on the screen now. Or you may even have a favourite subreddit that you'd like covered.